Welcome to the fifth and final stop of the Alabama Bass Trail South Division, Lake Eufaula, June 15th, down south, getting it done, wrapping up the season on one of what most people consider the big bass capital of the world there at Lake Point State Park. A couple of people I need to point out to you before we get started. Your winners from the Alabama River, John Pollard and Tim Watkins took home the win there, also punched their ticket to the championship at Lake. Got them securely in that top 9 as it sits right now. We'll see how it all shakes down after Eufaula. Also, congratulations to Eric Summers taking home the Phoenix Payday $2,500 highest finisher bonus, and then also Trade Wade for the highest finisher Garmin Electronics. A lot of contingency money out here on the Alabama Bass Trail. Congratulations to those guys for increasing their winnings at the Alabama River. Also want to point out this is the time that we're getting down to cut time, getting ready for the championship. Top 75 in the points will automatically make the championship. We will have some double qualifiers. Right now, CJ Knight, Anthony Goggins leading your Angler of the Year points, 840 points. 58 points separate first and ninth place. As of right now, doing a little math, looking at the list, as I've done with my very scientific way of highlighting there, it currently looks like we have 7 teams that have double qualified either through winning an event, either through the college, high school, or couples division. We have 7 teams that have double qualified. So that would put us going down to 82nd place in the points. That will all change. And we really will not be able to determine who makes it into the championship until after the Lake Guntersville event, just simply because we have teams that fish both divisions. And I do want to remind you, you do go to the championship in the division you qualify the highest. So let's say if John and I fish the North and the South, and we finish 15th in the South and 3rd in the North, we would qualify through the North, which would drop us down a spot in the South. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it will continue to be. Also, I just want to remind you, if we have a tie for 75th place, it doesn't mean everybody in 75th place goes. We add up the weight for the total year, and the team with the highest weight then goes to the championship. Big Fish does not play into that. It is just simply the team that has the highest weight. That is also the case if we come into a tie for Angler of the Year. If we come into a tie for the top 9, that is how we do it. We take the weight from the year, we add it up, and the team that has the highest weight gets that position. So just a reminder, you're welcome to reflect to the rules for that, but that is how it's done. I will encourage everyone to check their classification. Some of you get in a big hurry when you are registering. You may not have marked that you are a student team. You may not have marked that you are a couples team. It is not our responsibility to check that. It is your responsibility. If we get down to championship qualification time and you have not checked your classification, you have not corrected your classification, then you will be left out. It is your responsibility to make sure that you are marked as an adult, as a college team, a couples team, or a student team. One other thing I'm going to cover before we get into the meat of the program, into the briefing, we had a team come to us at the Alabama River with photos of a team that appeared to have their big motor on, and the partner sitting in the passenger seat did not have his life vest on. John or I will reach out to this team personally. But I will let you know, had that team decided to protest you, you would have been disqualified. Anytime your big engine is on, from the time you back your boat in to the time you take it out of the water, you are considered on Alabama Bass Trail time, and you can be disqualified for not wearing your life vest. Alabama River was a tough event. It was not the smoothest exit in the afternoon. We understand that. We are well aware of that. We will work on that for future years. But if you take your life vest off and your big motor is on, you are subject to a disqualification. I can tell you straight up, you will be disqualified. So make sure that you have that life vest on from the time you back your boat in the water until the time your boat leaves the water onto the boat ramp. You're required to have that life vest on. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the briefing as we move forward. But I do want to now turn it over to John. I'm going to go ahead and try to share our screen, John, so that you have the presentation up. Just a second. All right, there you go.
All right, again, welcome to Lake Eufaula, the 5th and final regular season event for the South Division. On the screen is Mr. Kenny Kernow's contact information. His phone number is 704-770-8600. We have already pre-assigned some cameras and trackers for this event, but if you would like a camera, they are first come, first serve. If you think you want a camera, text Mr. Kenny, let him know, give him your boat number, say, hey, this is boat number so-and-so. I would like to have a camera for this event. If there is one available, he will assign one to you and he will put it on your boat the morning of the tournament at boat check. Boat check for this event will start at 3 a.m. Boats checking in by water will come to the dock inside the marina with the flashing red lights. We will have a gentleman there with those key fobs, ribbon, and he will check your live wells and give you your ribbon if you decide to come by water. Safety first. As Kay mentioned earlier, anytime a big motor is running, you must be wearing a Coast Guard rated PFD, even in practice. Practice days for these events are Thursday and Friday before the tournament, and this rule does apply for those 2 days. If we do have photo evidence of you or your partner not having a life jacket on, you will be disqualified from the event should the team that takes the picture or anybody who takes the picture decides to protest. Please follow all posted water control signs and buoys. If you receive a ticket during one of these events, that does result in an automatic disqualification. Blast off for this event is 5:30 a.m. or first light, whichever comes first, but we are going to shoot for 5:30. First flight for this event is due in at 2:30 p.m. This is not a trailered weigh-in. There's plenty of dock space down there, so when you come in, you will be required to tie your boat up, come to the scales, weigh your fish, and then pull your boat out. When you arrive at boat check on Saturday morning, the team member in the vehicle's driver's seat needs to have the text message displayed on their phone. Present that to Daniel or Brody at boat check. That way we will give you your corresponding key fob with the boat number on the bottom of it. You will receive that text message Thursday afternoon at 7 p.m. Vehicle's driver will be given the key fob at boat check. Key fob has the team's boat number on the bottom in marker. Do not lose your key fob. You will return that at the bump sink whenever you're coming to weigh your fish. You will not be able to weigh your fish if you do not have your key fob. We've got some additional off limits and no wake zones on this lake. Please observe all no wake zones on the lake that are posted either by sign or on buoy. All bridges on this lake are idle speed only. Chihuahua Creek from the little bridge to the end of the creek is idle speed only. So once you go under that little bridge, idle speed only all the way to the back of the creek. Off limits, no fishing at the Coast Guard station, no fishing at Chihuahua Marina, and no fishing at the Corps of Engineers station at East Bank. The lower dam, there is no off limits there. If you are going to the Phoenix City Dam, you must use the 800-foot rule and wear your PFD when you're below that dam. During blast off, we're going to be at the mouth. There's a little chute coming out of the marina. We will be in a pontoon boat on the outside of that chute. When you come by us at idle speed only. When you come by us and put it on plane, you guys run single file all the way out until you reach the channel. Please do not pass in that creek until you reach the channel. Size limit for this event: largemouth and spotted bass are both 14 inches. This slide here just shows the logistics coming in to boat check. When you come in from the highway, you'll follow the signs to the marina. If you come in off the highway, you'll take a right to come down to the marina store. We will have boat checks set up right in front of the store. We'll have a tent set up. We'll have flashing lights. Come to boat check. When you get to boat check, you are allowed to go to the ramp. You can take a left or a right. If you go through boat check and you take a left, it's a smaller ramp. There is limited parking there. Once that parking fills up, you will need to go to the main ramp and put in. The main ramp, we will have people there assisting at the ramp. We will also have parking assistance at that ramp as well. Water boat check, show it here. It's on the dock right out in front of the marina. We'll be right there out on the end. Again, we'll have flashing lights there at that dock. Whenever you come in the chute, you'll be able to see the flashing red lights if you come by water. And that's where we will have your key fobs, your ribbon, and somebody will be there to check your live wells. Off limits, you can, inside the marina is off limits. We will have some markers on those walls to show exactly where that off limit starts. And then you can just draw a line like a half moon circle from one marker to the other, and that will be your off limits at the marina. But again, we will have markers. It's going to be a couple little orange poles with some flagging on them, and we will have those on the outside of that chute. Also, the main ramp area, that is also off limits as well. If you'll draw a line across that little chute, you can go under the bridge and fish in the creek under the bridge, but do not go into where the main ramp is. That will be off limits. Again, here's my number. My name is John Simpson. I am the tournament director for this event. 256-309-9852. You can call me during regular business hours if you have any questions or about this event or during the event. If you have an emergency, this will be the number that you contact. In an emergency situation on the water, please call 911 first before you call me. Get those first responders on their way. So, if there are any injuries or anything like that, you can get those taken care of. Once everybody is safe, then call me, let me know what's going on. You can also call, if you can't reach me, you can call Assistant Tournament Director Daniel Montgomery. His number is here, 256-284-9889. After weigh-in starts at 2:30, Daniel and I are both on stage. At that time, if you have an emergency, please call Kay. Our number is 256-303-7905. All right, if you are coming by water or using an alternate, I will need that information no later than 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. When you get your boat number on Thursday afternoon, just send me a text. If you're coming by water, say, hey, boat number 1 coming by water. If you are using an alternate, the text will need to be a little different. I will need the name of the alternate and who that alternate is fishing in place of. I've got the example down here, boat number 1, John Doe fishing for John Smith. We make some adjustments in the system if there is an alternate fishing, which allows us to, when we print checks, it will print a check to that alternate. So please send me the alternate's name and the fisherman that will not be fishing. That's a normal member of the team. Again, you can send that text to me. My number's here again, or you can email me with that information. My email is jon@alabamabasstrail.org. Okay, do you have any other things to add?
Just two things. I do want to remind everybody, it is a June tournament, so please make sure that your fish care, that you're worried that you are concentrating on that. Also, reminder, the scales do open 1 hour prior to official weigh-in time, so 1:30 would be the first time that we could bump your fish. We cannot let them go through the bump sink any earlier than that, so 1:30 is the time that the scales can open if you were to need to bring that. I want to remind you of the dead fish penalty because it seems as though at one of our last tournaments, a veteran Alabama bass trawl angler did not know the dead fish penalty. It is, you are allowed to weigh one dead fish. There is a 1 pound penalty with that dead fish, but you can only weigh one dead fish. I want to remind you of that. Again, the scales will open 1 hour prior to official weigh-in time, so you can weigh in as early as 1:30. Our guys typically have our tanks ready by 1 o'clock. If they do, you're welcome to bring your fish to those tanks, but they cannot go through the bump sink before 1:30. We will not get them ready any earlier for someone. We'll get them ready about the same time every time. It helps us keep the water cooler longer, and it helps us to have better fish care in the end. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing our page. I do want to remind everybody that this is the fifth and final stop of the Alabama Bass Trail South Division. We will begin registration for next year on August the 1st through the 14th. You have 14 days priority registration. We will be sending out a text the week before registration opens that gives you your team ID and PIN number that you will need to use to utilize your priority registration. We do thank you for fishing the Alabama Bass Trail. We know that you have multiple choices of tournament trails that you fish, and we are proud that you choose to fish the Alabama Bass Trail. It has been a very exciting year, increasing our payout. It's been a really cool thing to experience this year, to be able to give more back to the anglers. And we appreciate the fact that you entrust John, myself, and our team with not only the funds that you contribute to the Alabama Bass Trail, but the fact that you do so and you sign up in such a quick manner. So I do want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You know, it means a lot to us when we can say that we sell out in under 30 minutes in a trail the size of the Alabama Bass Trail. And we know that that is because of you guys. So thank you to all the sponsors that have stood by us throughout this year and other years. Thank you to the host cities that brought us into their areas. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out at each event. It has been a lot of fun, and we look forward to closing it out in a very big way down at Lake Eufaula. John, if you don't have anything else, I think that wraps us up.
All right.
All right, guys, thank you again. Fifth final stop, Alabama Bass Trail South Division, Lake Eufaula, June the 15th. We will see you there.